Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. In this video, I start a new project based on St. Bees Station in Cumbria, which won't be a surprise to those that have watched my previous layout ideas video. In this video, I'll talk through the track plan, the basic concept of it, and show you the little bit of progress that I've made so far. As I said in my Engage layout video that I did earlier this year, I really like the idea of St. Bees Station as a location for a future layout. So for those who don't know, St. Bees is a small village in West Cumbria on the Cumbrian coastline, just south of Whitehaven. And it's basically a passing place for trains between the single line sections, north to Whitehaven and south to Nethertown. So I'm planning on modelling the whole of the station, which will then connect around to a fiddle yard, allowing sort of continuous running of trains. I think I'm going to set this layout in the sort of the 1920s and 1930s, as I haven't done a steam era layout in a while. And I'm also considering changing my other continuous run layout based in the steam era, which is Branstey, to something a little bit more modern. So I want something to run my steam engines on. Yeah, so basically the layout in the sort of the 1930s, the track plan's a little bit different from what it is now. So you got the two passing loops, as I said, and then there's two additional sidings in a goods yard, which is accessible from the southbound line. Currently, that's the station car park, as seems to be the case with a lot of old goods yards. And so I've used that as the template for my plan. So I won't be having the loops go down to a single line at the far end, which is what happens in reality. I'm just going to have it go continue round to the fill yard. So I've got two continuous loops, but I will be operating it as a proper passing loop. So one train comes in and has to wait for the other one to arrive, pass over the tokens, and then they both proceed. The base board I'm using sort of measures about 120 centimeters or 4 feet by 40 centimeters, which is about sort of 1 foot and a bit, and it's from White Rose Models. And I'm planning on using Pico Code 50 track with Unifrog points, as I have on my previous layouts. And I've also got the Kato track at each end, which will allow me to connect to the fiddle yard, which is also made up of Kato track, and I can adjust that as I needed to. The fiddle yard I've got set up at the moment, I've got 2 lanes for the northbound services and 3 for the southbound, although I could change that around a little bit if I wanted to. That's kind of what I've got set at the moment. Power is currently provided from the Kato powered sections in the fiddle yard. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to add direct power to the scenic area. I'm going to see how the trains run first before I decide to do that. It just makes it simpler if I don't have to connect it up on the scenic area. But if I want to add lighting or stuff like that, then it probably makes sense to do that. I mean, on Coca-Cola, I've had the same setup. It's worked fine for a couple of years now. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. It's not too difficult if I decide to change my mind at a later date. It's just easy to solder on a couple of wires to the Kato bits at either end. Modelling in the 20s and 30s also means I'll be giving my furnace railway era stock a bit more of a run out. Currently, they only really get to run on Branstey, where the corners are quite tight, and yeah, they don't really look that good. And also Peelish, which is just a small terminus. So this will kind of give them more of an opportunity to let their hair down, run a bit longer. I'll probably run later eras as well, as I have done with Branstey, kind of right up to probably the transition era. And this will also give me an excuse to finish off some of the earlier projects I've had on for ages. So I need to finish my LNWR cauliflower. I've got some LNWR coaches as well. my furnace railway coaches need to tidy up, and quite a lot of the wagons need a bit of TLC as well. So all of those have been parked while I've been working on Crow Road and Hardendale, but this will give me an excuse to get those finished. So I'm going to give you an overview of the layout as it is at the moment. So at the very far end, or the left end, or the north end, depending on how you look at it, you got the two lines coming on, and then below that there is a small coal siding that I've modelled just a little bit of. I haven't got room to put the whole thing in there, but that's kind of a little bit of a nod to that. You then got the level crossing just before the station, and then there's a small signal box below that. Sort of directly north of that is a large hotel, which you're planning on modelling. You then got the station building, and then sort of the rest of the platform, which then leads to the far end of the platform, where you've got the junction leading into the goods yard, and then that kind of disappears off to the south. And then what I'm planning on doing is kind of at this sort of area at the back, at the south side, is kind of having a sort of raised area where you'll be able to see the back of a lot of houses that you sort of you get in St. in that area. I think they are a little bit close. I'll be modelling a bit closer than they are in reality, but I think having sort of the ground lift up and then having the backs of the buildings will be quite a nice backdrop, I think. So far I've got the track glued down on a 5mm bed of cork, which is the perfect height for matching up the Pico track to the Cato sections. I've also got the platform edges in. These are Pico, painted in sort of red and brown to kind of match the sort of natural sandstone bricks that are used in the real thing. So I was kind of done using a little bit of sort of dry brushing and then glued in place. I've also given the track its first coat of weathering, so I've used quite a bright red paint, to enamel paint, to kind of represent rust, and this will then get toned down quite a bit when I ballast it and then re-weather it. So it looks a bit bright at the moment, but it won't be in the end. I also just used some old Graham Farish buildings, put them where the scratch built buildings are going to go, just kind of get a feel for how it's all going to look in the end. Unfortunately, I've got quite a lot of that do reasonably match the buildings, so the station building is kind of about the right size. There's not quite sure what it's used for. It's kind of maybe a waiting room or something on the east side, sort of the northbound platform. That's in I think they call it the arts and crafts style. You can see in this image here. That's not a bad match for the old Farish building that I've got for that too. So yeah, gives an idea of where I'm at, what it's going to look like. Sorry. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm up to for now. I hope you've enjoyed this latest video. If you did, please leave a like. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you all next time.
This is the northern service to Carlisle. The next stop is Corkicle.